What is up, guys? Today we're going to do another training vlog. So obviously every single training we have to start with a warm-up, and I'm still doing, after 3 years, the shoulder warm-up of Kelly's Tourette. Because we're going to start with squats, I am going to start with some dynamic stretches. In today's squat, I am really focusing on getting my core tight and actually making the squat feel good and decent rather than going to full depth. Now, you also see me roll my quads, and because I have a day job where I constantly need to sit, my quads tend to be rather tight when I go into a squat. So I really feel that my knees are like not cooperating. So that's why I find taking a roller or maybe a foam roller and just rolling out the quads is a very good thing to do in between sets. So for the squat, I'm going for 3 sets of 8 repetitions, and every week I'm trying to add 2.5 kilos. So now that we're finally done with doing squats, we can do the fun stuff, meaning meadows rows and dumbbell bench press. So the reason I picked these two is because they are kind of unilateral. It's going to be a great addition to bench press and pull-ups, which are 2 lifts that I'm trying to improve. Now for this, I'm going rather light. For meadows row, we do like 35 kilos, 8 repetitions for 3 sets. And then for the bench press, we're going a little bit higher on the repetition side, which goes for 16 reps for 3 sets. And we're going to superset these 2 exercises. Because these are antagonistic muscles, you can allow yourself to have less resting time in between sets. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to do some external rotations in order to make sure that the shoulders are healthy. Of all that pushing, we get some counteraction into the shoulders. Now, next to that, I'm doing overhead press. So overhead press has been neglected for more than a year. So I really started to just get back into overhead press, and 50 kilos, I must say, never felt this heavy. I can manage. I really focus on core, and before I didn't really think that core was a thing. I knew that everybody talked about how you should brace your core, and bracing is very important, but I've never actually actively done it. So now I'm really trying to incorporate that, and I did 2 sets of the external rotations and I did 3 working sets of the overhead presses. So 50 kilos for 5 reps for 3 sets. I'm still struggling with lateral hip pain, and sometimes also my glute medius is like kicking in. So I figured maybe I'm suffering from weak hip flexors. So that's why I tried this exercise, which I saw from Knees Over Toe guy. I was so focused on this exercise being for the hip flexors that I forgot that if you're doing hanging leg raises or knee raises, that is actually the exact exercise. But nonetheless, I felt this one more in my hip flexors than in my abs, and I find it a very good exercise. I'm going to experiment with this one for a while. It's the first time I'm doing this one, and yeah, we'll see. Maybe my lateral hip pain will go away. After that, it's time to do some neck training to finish up the workout, and I really like to incorporate neck training, especially because I'm doing also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is very heavy on the neck if you get choked a lot. And that's why I think neck curls and neck extensions are a good way to go. I've done this one in the past with weights, but for this session here, I'm trying to do no weights and trying to go for a high volume, because in the end, what we want is endurance for our neck muscles. This is really the workout, guys. I hope you got something out of this. The structure basically is always going with the squat. If I'm doing squats, I'm always going to do squats first, because that is the exercise that I least like, but also because it's a big compound movement and you want to get them done when you have the most amount of energy. So that is really what I did. And then you go to the other compounds, which is mostly upper body, and then you finish up with some accessory movements. So no real tricep or bicep work, but I like to focus more on longevity, and my neck is really something that I want to spend more time on. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. I hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to like, and I really want to have you commenting on this video. So yeah, see you in the next one.